A follow-up now to one of our exclusive New York State Exposed reports. Back in August, we first told you about a stretch of the Lake Ontario State Parkway. A lot of people told us it is just very hard to drive on.
It sure is. Some business owners even thought that they might lose sales because of the road's condition. Now lawmakers are taking a closer look at a proposal to fix that damage.
Brett Davidson joining us now with this update. Brett.
Janet, Scott, there are lots of adjectives to describe the Lake Ontario State Parkway. It's been called deplorable and horrendous. People who live along the parkway have been trying for years to have the road conditions improved. Now an alternative plan is starting to get some traction. How bad is the Lake Ontario State Parkway in Orleans County? Just ask the people who use it.
It's rough on the vehicles.
For several months we've been telling you about this 12-mile stretch of road which is cracking and crumbling, patched with asphalt to keep it drivable. Pete Jones lives in Kent and uses the parkway daily to get to and from work. In 18 years of living here, he's seen it get progressively worse.
I once was dragging the trailer down the road empty, and it was bouncing so bad it broke the springs right off the trailer.
As a member of the Oak Orchard Neighborhood Association, Jones and others have been trying to get Albany to take notice of the rough conditions on the parkway. In August, we took their concerns to the state DOT.
What is the DOT doing to address that road?
Unfortunately, the amount of traffic that it gets and the use doesn't lend itself to compete well against the other projects.
They pay taxes too. Don't they deserve good roads?
Oh, absolutely. Our goal is to keep the road open and passable and in a state of good repair.
Recently, the agency shut down the westernmost portion of the parkway for the winter to save money.
If I lived up there and had to travel on those deplorable conditions, I'd feel exactly the same way.
After our reports, Assemblyman Steve Hawley sent a letter to the governor, apprising him of the worsening parkway conditions. But he also raised the question of whether it might be time to look at closing lanes of the divided highway and transforming some or all of the parkway in Orleans County into a two-lane road, making it cheaper to maintain.
We're kind of saying, okay, if that's the way it's going to be, then we're going to be realistic enough to say, how about we consider less costly options to proceed with.
James Bensley is the Director of Planning and Development in Orleans County. At the suggestion of the state, he wrote up a proposal requesting that the Genesee Transportation Council study the idea of closing either the eastbound or westbound lanes of the parkway. The proposal also suggests options for reuse of the highway lanes, like walking or snowmobile trails. The very suggestion of shutting down lanes is being met with some resistance among neighborhood groups. But Bensley says with limited financial resources available to address the region's transportation needs for the foreseeable future, they have to look at all options.
Maybe we can't have what we used to have in the way it was, so if you'll sit down with us and say how we can better configure the road network there to have better maintenance on what remains, maybe provide some other tourism opportunities, we're willing to do that.
The Genesee Transportation Council is a pass-through agency that assists in determining how federal highway funds are allocated. They're expected to take up the Parkway proposal study as early as March. If you want to let Assemblyman Steve Hawley know your thoughts on his idea to decommission lanes of the Parkway, you can contact his office at 585-589-5780. There's also an online petition circulating demanding the Parkway be repaired. You can find a link to that on our website at WHEC.com. Janet, Scott?
Brett, how much would it cost to just fix the Parkway?
It's hard to say, but Bensley speculates it's probably in the tens of millions of dollars. Again, it's 12.7 miles in Orleans County. Coming up at 6, I'll tell you about another proposal, though, that has emerged to try to pry that money out of the state budget.
All right, look forward to that report. Brett Davidson, thank you.
Sure.